Sports Minister Kamil Bortniczuk hopes to build a coalition of some 40 countries by February 10th to prevent Russian and Belarusian athletes from participating in next year's Olympics.
Naszym celem jest to, żeby
Our goal is for the Russians and Belarusians to not be at the Olympics Games, and not the Ukrainians, Latvians, or Poles. And if we were to boycott already, we would do it with such a broad coalition led by Great Britain, the US, so that without these countries boycotting the Games most simply would not make sense.
bojkotują te igrzyska.
Ale moje osobiste zdanie.
My personal opinion is that if athletes from Belarus and Russia were admitted to the Olympics next year, then we should boycott the Olympics.
Powinniśmy po prostu igrzyska zbojkotować.
On the issue of boycotting the Olympics, the Polish Olympic Committee appeals for common sense. We do not want to make a choice as to which athlete is better or worse. We believe that the victim and the aggressor should not be together at sports competitions. As for the boycott, I personally believe that the International Olympic Committee will make the right decision. Poland is not the only country demanding the exclusion of Russian and Belarusian athletes from next year's Olympics. A meeting of Baltic prime ministers was held today in Tallinn. One of the topics was the issue of the incomprehensible attitude of the International Olympic Committee, which today criticized the threat to boycott the Olympics made by the authorities in Kiev.
Efforts should be on convincing our other friends and allies that participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes is just wrong. So boycotting is a next step, but I'm sure that people will understand why this is necessary to not let the Russian and Belarusian athletes compete, but the others will compete.
The authorities in Kiev, however, are facing more serious problems. Over the past 24 hours, Russians have shelled towns in the Donetsk, Kharkiv, and Kherson regions. Their actions left 6 people dead and 9 wounded. We looked at the situation on the front line. Russia is trying to increase the offensive in Donbass. According to the US-based Institute for the Study of War, Putin has ordered the Russian military to occupy the Lugansk and Donetsk regions by the end of February. Spring is slowly approaching, which creates new conditions for frontline battles. On the one hand, easier. On the other, not necessarily, because there will be mud melt and heavy equipment will have trouble. CIA analysts, on the other hand, believe that Russia is not interested in a truce. Putin is beginning to understand that not only will he not be able to gain any more territory in Ukraine, but with each passing month, he is putting himself at greater and greater risk of losing the territory he has managed to illegally seize from Ukraine. I think this next period will be absolutely crucial. From the perspective of 2-3 weeks, Ukraine expects a major Russian offensive, a significant increase in hostilities. Ukraine's armed forces yesterday conducted military exercises in the Chernobyl exclusion zone near the border with Belarus. The maneuvers involving Soviet self-propelled howitzers, Akatsya, were aimed at increasing the readiness of troops in case of another Russian attack from Belarusian territory.